If your laptop motherboard is shorted, there is a high chance that this tiny component is the reason. Most technicians miss this, especially around these CPU areas, and that is why they struggle to fix power issues in an electronic system. In this video, I will show you how you can quickly test SMD capacitors just using your multimeter here. How to instantly know if one is shorted. Before we dive into this video, I want to make something clear. We are going to have a low resistance or maybe kind of a short circuit around this CPU, but that doesn't mean that these components or maybe these SMD capacitors are shorted. That is due to this presence of this processor here. So this processor here tends to create a low resistance around each and every of these SMD components here. Now watch this. This is how you test it. Set your multimeter to the continuity mode. Already our multimeter is the continuity mode or the diode mode. This OL means over limit. Now when you set your multimeter to the continuity mode, you are going to get this beeping sound. Did you get that? Come with your probe wire, the positive and negative probe wire. And at this point, remember I told you about continuity. Continuity simply means there is a connection between two ends like this. And whenever it comes to SMD capacitors, capacitors has the positive and the negative leg. So if SMD capacitors have a connection between the two ends with a beeping sound of this, that's probably telling you that there is a short, but you have to be sure to identify that where you are texting the SMD capacitor is not around the processor, because anything around the processor is going to give you a low resistance. So if we are going to test these SMD capacitors around this CPU, we are going to have a low resistance or maybe probably a kind of a short circuit, but that does not tell you that these SMD components are shorted. The fact that this CPU is here, it will cause a low resistance around this circuit. The presence of this CPU will cause a low resistance around this SMD components here now, including this 330 capacitor, these coils, and these MOSFETs and these SMD capacitors. So if you want to get the actual reading of these SMD capacitors, you are going to remove this processor, but that will be for another day. Now I am going to read it here now. We have 45 ohms. We have 45 ohms. We have 45 ohms. We have 44 ohms. This is telling you that the presence of this CPU is causing a low resistance around this processor circuit. Now, if we are going to test SMD capacitors outside the processor circuit, we are going to have the actual resistance of this capacitor. Let's go with this one near this MOSFET. We have 700 ohms. We have 700 ohms. This is the reverse. There is going to be a resistance. So when you have this kind of results, what you're going to do is to turn your probe wire to get the actual resistance, and you read again. We have almost 700 ohms. We read again to this second one here. We have 800, okay, 800 and 700 ohms. This capacitor is working. So to these ones here, we have 700 ohms. We have 700 ohms. But on the CPU, like I said, we are going to have a low resistance. Do you get what I'm saying? Because of this CPU. If any of these SMD capacitor is shorted, you are simply going to have a 000 ohms resistance, which goes this way. You are going to have something like this on your multimeter. We are going to have a very low resistance around 0000 or 001 or 003 or 005 or 0010 to tell you that the SMD capacitor is shorted. Do you understand? So that is all for it. Remember, we use SMD capacitors or we use coils on the motherboard to detect short. So if you are going to fix your computer next time, make sure you don't miss these SMD capacitors. Make sure you use your SMD capacitors to detect short on the motherboard. And if you are testing around the processor circuit, know that you are going to have a low resistance if the CPU is present. Another way you can test SMD capacitors is to keep one of your probe wire to the ground and you bring it to the component. We have the same 700 ohms. We are going to have a beeping sound. The reason is because this is ground and this is negative, and this is the negative leg of this capacitor, so it's going to connect. It's going to give you a continuity mode because this is ground and this is also ground, and this is the positive. So at the positive side we are going to get the resistance, and at the negative side of the capacitor it is going to short to the ground. So I hope you get that, and I will see you on the next one. This is ICT Doctor. I bring to you knowledge about computer systems, both hardwares and softwares. And if this is your first time coming across this channel, please do well to subscribe, drop your comment in the comment section, share this video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.